enabled, transcriptions are on. So you will get the whole 9 yards, the AI notes, the recording, and all that stuff. And you'll automatically receive it. If you're attending, you'll get this. If you don't, just let me know. Okay, and I'll post it. Before that, I wanted to so thank you for filling out the survey. That usually helps me before the workshop to understand who's coming to the class and make any adjustments to the materials as needed. I've taught this a version of this class over the last year to about 400 people so far, and that number is growing because I took 6 months hiatus, but I will ramp up teaching the world on how to use AI. So gonna that happen here. So give me a second here. I'm switching, and okay, all right. Let's get going. So who's in the room, right? So let's analyze. There are 53 registered attendees. Not everyone's here. Some of them have other things to catch up, I guess. 75% are BITS alumni. So I've asked people to extend it to their friends or their kids or their partners. So they may be from there. 40 plus different companies represented here. This is the breakdown in terms of who's attending the class. So entrepreneurs, technical roles, executives, and others. And the reason I like this kind of analysis is because it helps me understand who actually is learning this material, because it's designed for non-engineers. The product from the ground up, when we started this journey 2 years ago, we believed that agents will build by non-engineers, and which is coming true. It's the case everywhere. So in terms of representation, we have enterprise and consulting, we have healthcare and government. I say Piedmont Healthcare, which I think it's local. I live next to Piedmont. I've not heard of Piedmont Healthcare, but here next to it. And startups and independent as well. We asked one question: how many people build an agent? And only about 7.5%. Right. So these are the people: Lokesh Seth, Shrikant Tangirala, Nikita Sadnani, and Arun Kanji. You have the names, so you can reach out to them to get their experience and how they have built an agent, etc. So that's the version. And here are the 4 things that you have indicated. We want hands-on building experience that you will get today. With respect to domain applications, we'll touch on it a little bit, but considering the time. But I'm happy to spend time with you afterwards to walk through some of these things. The business value and fundamentals, right? So you'll get pretty much most of this here today. Okay. Any questions before we jump back into the main? Okay. So I will be switching. Go ahead.
Sorry, are you able to hear me, Prasad?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just thanks for arranging this. This is really good. I just want to know, just at a very high level, because this is the first time attending your session. What should we think of a takeaway, or what should we be learning? Are we trying to say that we have the appreciation of what an agent is, or would we actually able to write an agent, whether using ChatGPT or Gemini 3.0?
So my goal, at least for all of you, is to it's a very good question, by the way. Let me see, why am I not seeing any of you here? Hold on. Let me pull all the folks here so that I can see you while. So my objective is twofold, right? The primary objective is to teach you the concepts of agents. What makes up an agent? What are the common elements, etc. So everything that you see today is transferable to any other platform. And today you will be doing all your hands-on exercises on Agent Man. That's my startup. That's something that we started working on 2 years ago, formalized it about a year ago, and we are an independent no-code agent building platform. We compete with Salesforce and Google and so on, in the sense that our focus is primarily just making that possible for anybody in the world. So we are laser focused, and you will see a number of ways you're superior to any of the other products out there. So that's our goal. So that's the secondary goal. But if you have taken one thing, we'll teach you things all about agents that you can apply those with other platforms as well. Did that answer your question?
You're on mute.
Okay. So we have a packed session today. So I want to get started. Is everybody in? Assuming? Okay. So we will build 3 different agents today. And as a bonus, you will be one of the first ones to experience one of our newest products. That I think is the most transformational of all. If you go back in 2 years, this is probably the most transformational. That is a far-reaching impact beyond Agent Man into every part of your AI life. And that's something we'll end the session here. You are the first ones, probably the second ones to say it. We unveiled it during BGM. I was planning to market it this week. We have not. We will start doing that next week. So you're still that small group of people who are seeing it. It's probably the most exciting thing that I have built, or we have built over the last 2 years. Okay. So what agents will you build? You will build a competitive intel advisor, right? So you probably will say, hey, you know what, I've done this before with ChatGPT, but you will see it's a little more different. The idea of starting you at the very basic agent is to get you to understand what is an agent, what drives an agent, right? So that's the first. Then we will connect that agent to the web. So it becomes more real-time competitive analysis agent. So you can see how you can connect an agent to the web, get the latest knowledge or latest things that are happening to the competitive analysis. And lastly, we will build a Shopify agent. I like to build Shopify agents because they're probably one of the most complicated agents all in one. For example, they do product recommendations, they do support, and a number of other things. They're driven by support procedures, policies, etc. So that's why it's a very good example of an agent that can do many things. Then the last half, we will see how we can build the newest product to ChatGPT and Claude. So you'll see that as well. Okay. We will do labs in every one of these, including the last one, if time permits. So it's about 2 hours. So let's get this going. Okay. At any point, please raise your hand and ask questions. I will try to, keep tab of my screen here. If I'm not watching the screen, I mean the hands, so please interrupt me and then we can get to questions. I want this to be extremely interactive. If you've seen the in-person session that we had at BITS, it was amazing. People were asking questions, answering questions, winning hats and chocolates and so on. We can't do that here virtually, but that was a fun atmosphere. So let's make it hopefully that way. Okay. Let me see if I can pull up the attendees here so I can. Okay. So all right. Okay. So one of the things that I want to start off with is you all have probably used AI in some form, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. You can't escape it now that it's part of the Google search experience. It is smart, it answers questions in a detailed way, it explains things. It's scary smart, right? I mean, if you go think back 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we didn't have any of this. We've come a really long way. But what we find is that any of the things that it comes back are very generic in nature. They're not specific to what you want it to be. And that's what we are going to do today. We're going to take a very general purpose AI and make it very specific to our needs. So we make it our agents. The basic agent is going to be connected with your instructions to create a helpful assistant, the connected agent, business agent, etc. Okay, so this is going to be a journey. I'm going to quickly run through this. Just to give you a heads up on my background and how I find myself always at the cutting edge of technology. It's just my nature, I guess. If you look back at my 30 years of doing this, in the 90s and to early 2000s, we were pioneers of Java technology. Java was the thing to do. So I built 2 different practices, including JPeople, where we would help people adopt Java and scale it with an enterprise. And we did it very successfully. We were the pioneers in this in Boston area. We recognized that cloud was going to be the norm. So in 2007, I co-founded a company called Office Drop, helping bring enterprise technology that is storing, sharing content to small businesses in the form of sharing paper files, documents, etc. If you use Dropbox and Box, we are all founded in 2007, and until we got acquired into 2013. I would say of all the companies that I founded, 5 of them, including this, AgentMan is probably the most transformative. We started this journey over 2+ years ago, and coming up with the whole agentic language, etc., and formalized the product about a year ago. I think this is the one that's going to probably have far-reaching impact of it. The reason I bring this up is because when it comes to technology, and you all have been practicing technology in some form or other, I've started that it starts very complex. Only the experts can use it. The early adapters, the ones is very rough at the edges, they're tinkering, etc. Over time, tools like ours start to emerge for power users. So you will see things like LangChain and Crew AI are for power users. These are meant for people who are already engineers, AI engineers, and who can adopt them and build great products with it. Over time, these tools will get simpler and simpler, and that's the journey that we are on, to make these tools simpler so that it can be available to everybody who wants to build it. So if you think about it, that's basically where we are. Now, when it comes to agents, we are somewhere in the second category, right? So we're past that initial. We have a number of tools available, but we are still at the stage where it still feels complicated to build agents, but that is getting simpler and simpler. And this is the year when it's really going to be super simple to build an agent, and very quickly. Not just any agent, but even complicated ones. What is a quick tour of what AgentMan is? AgentMan is, we'd like to consider as a leading no-code independent agentic platform. The reason it's independent is we are not tied to a Google or Microsoft or Azure or Salesforce, etc. We run anywhere. Currently, we use it or run on Google, but it's something that can be available to any platform. Now, what's different from us, from everybody else, is that most companies help you build agents and test agents. We go the entire life cycle. When testing an agent, you can actually use our Agent Forge product to spin up an agent to test your agent. Right? So an agent is testing an agent for all the happy use cases, but also edge cases and safety cases. We also have an observability product called our Agent Lens that you can observe what's underneath the agent. So that means you can build it, you can test it, you can observe it. Typically, with other products, you'll have to buy them as point products from different companies to make that happen. And lastly, once you have deployed an agent into production, let's say, and you watched it for the first 2 months, it's looking great, etc. You want to let it go and let it work. Then who's watching it? That's our new product that's going to come up in the next quarter. That's in this quarter, called Agent Watch, where it will watch every day and let you know if things are going well or not. Kind of like PagerDuty, like this checking on the status of your agent. If something goes wrong, notifies you so that you can go and fix it. So that's our suite of products. They all work together in conjunction so that you can continuously improve your agent by stitching all the different activities together. We, I think, are the only platform out there that connects all the 4 aspects of agent building. You will experience at least 2 of these today. You will see both agent building as well as looking under the hood. Okay, give me a second here. I'm trying to, somebody just came in, so let me. It's always a challenge trying to find this windows when zoom out. Hold on. Okay, so that let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so jump into our right. So what's the agent? What I think that agent and what an agent shared with the.
Your voice is breaking. Is it only for me? No,
Yeah,
your
it's
voice is
cutting in
breaking,
and out
Prasad.
for me too.
Yes,
And also you're not sharing if
Yeah.
you're intending to do that.
Right.
yeah, this is better now. This is-
Yeah, better.
Can you hear me now? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Glad you said this earlier than later. So, all right. Cool. All right. So, what is a basic agent? Or what is an agent? Any definitions? Maybe let pose it differently. Is you probably heard of chatbots, right? Is agent a chatbot?
No, I think the way I see Prasad, the agent is more than a chatbot. We have a travel agent. We have we can have a demand planner whose task is to do statistical forecasting, an inventory planner who's doing. So I believe an agent is it's the act of doing, right? So agent can be any persona or any role that can be played,
Okay.
and we're automating that role.
Correct. That means you mentioned that it can perform a task.
Yeah, the way I think about it, Prasad, is like it's a digital version of a human who can do one or more tasks.
Good. Okay, that's great. Any other? I think did you say something here in the chat, Sridhar?
And I think it can
Someone who
action
works.
can be improvised, it can continuously learn as it performs actions.
Got it. Yeah, it can continuously learn.
I mean, it's a decision maker, right? It's like, it can execute different actions, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So it makes decisions. It can reason over the whatever instructions it has, the conversations having to make the decision. Good. All right. So I think let me back here. So is anybody else raised the hand here? Okay, Sridhar says someone working on our behalf, right? So exactly, right? So these are agents or basically software components that are doing stuff on our behalf. They have a goal or task in hand that they're trying to accomplish, and they get it done. Okay. Now, if you compare it to a co-pilot or a chatbot, chatbots are tend to be very rules based. Back in the day, we used to have the chatbots on websites where you just have a defined set of rules, and every time you go outside of that boundaries, it would say, "Hey, I don't know how to do it." In the case of co-pilots, they tend to actually serve up answers or tell you what you would do, and you have to take that action. So with Microsoft Copilot or any of these places, you will find they are the ones who guide you through maybe the next step or the next step, and which you take on your own. Agent, on the other hand, is primarily built with a goal of accomplishing things, whether it's a small task or many tasks. One example was travel agent is, hey, can you go book me tickets from going from San Francisco to Bangalore or through Dubai, right? He'll figure it out and come back and say within $2,000, right? If you give it instructions like that and then give it start and end dates and go figure it out and come back and say I booked it for you, right? So that would be an agent's task, and the goal there is to book a ticket. So that's that, and its simple form is an agent, right? An agent is something that has agency to accomplish things. Any questions on this? Great.
So just so just this Manoj again. This one question is how much of self-learning or improvement of the results is expected from an agent? Like, are we just expecting it to repeat the task based on the prompts, or are we thinking it should improve on the results every time it does a run?
So where we are in the life cycle of the technology, agents are not self-learning and self-improving. Does it mean you can't do that? We can. It's a little more complicated to implement a self-learning loop. Right? What is a self-learning loop is that it reflects humans, right? When we do things, people give us feedback and we reflect on that feedback and improve on it. Right? So depending on that feedback process, so if you have an agent that's operating and if there's a feedback process given, then it can collect that feedback process and make it part of its learnings. And next time reflect or look into those learnings and come back with a better answer. Right? That's usually the process. Now, today we do that offline, right? So humans get intervene. We go periodically, look at all the conversations and say, okay, what has happened? Reflect, do the analysis and say something is wrong here, and then use that to deploy newer knowledge. Now, you can automate that process, and once you feel confident that that process will always create the correct learnings that can be redeployed, then that process will improve. And that's something will happen this year. The idea of having a reflection and a self-improvement loop will be automatic in that sense.
Okay, thanks, Prasad. That answers it.
Okay, cool. All right, so what powers an agent, right? So now I'm going to, everything so far we've learned has nothing to do with Agent Man. It's the same concepts across the board. And you will see a lot of the things that we learned today are all the same across any agentic platform, whether it is you're writing code or when you're using no code. So keep that in mind. And if there are any deviations, I will definitely identify what those deviations are or when specific to our platform. Okay. An agent has 4 elements. Until probably a few months ago, we had only 3. Then recently we had introduced a 4th concept called skills. So agents run on LLMs. Without language models, there's very little opportunity for an agent to be smart. These are your Claude models, your GPT models from OpenAI, or Gemini models, right? And many other open source models. They have a set of instructions. That is, they have a goal saying this is an agent that accomplishes this goal, right? It's a very high level 1 or 2 line description of what that agent is supposed to do. Now, does it have to have a goal? No, but it's always important to have a goal so you can confine the agent to that goal, right? So you probably read horror stories where agents go do all kinds of things, and you need to rein in those agents. And the way you do that is by defining a very clear goal and setting boundaries, right? So, and that is done through instructions. Additionally, you also have to describe how the agent will accomplish those goals through instructions. In this case, you mentioned prompts. The instructions are basically that. Now, the language model instructions by themselves don't make the agent as smart as what you want to be. You want to use an agent only gets smarter or useful agent when it's connected to your data or your data, your applications, and that's where tools come in. When you kind of take an agent that is LLM and instructions and connect to APIs or your applications, that's when it becomes a useful agent. Think of it in the real world. Let's say a sales rep who's trained goes around, is very good at sales, but it's that sales rep, when you hire and bring it to your company, that's when the sales rep is performing and is generating value, right? Until then, a sales rep is just a trained sales rep, right? So think of an agent with LLM instructions. The first 2 blocks is just a good agent, not a useful agent. And tools, what makes it connect you to your business or your particular use case. Now, the 3 are important, but if you want an agent to be your own agent, not a useful agent, then you have to bring your intelligence and say, you know what, in our company, we do this activity such as HR response in this way. So you may have your own procedures, your own instructions, etc., and we call them skills. Okay. In agentic language, that's called skills. It's a set of business procedures, templates, how-to guides, etc., that you do differently from next business, which also employs the same agent, right? So that's a new concept that was officially, I would say, codified about 3 months ago. And it's going to be probably the most transformative element of all of agents because it's codifying intelligence there. Okay? So if you combine all this, then you get a really good agent that can do a lot of things. Any questions on this one?
So can you repeat, just clarify, what is skills you said? How is it different than instructions?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So let me give an example of, let's say, Swiggy or DoorDash, right? Swiggy for people in India, DoorDash for people in the US. When you place an order, you get let's say you ordered from McDonald's, you got burger and fries, right? You ordered those. When you got it home, it came late and the fries are missing, right? So you pick up the phone and you call. Now, whether it's Swiggy or DoorDash, they have hundreds of thousands of products that they sell across many verticals. And they have policies and procedures for each type of support issue. Let's say, hey, if you're missing fries, and that means you will be compensated so much. But if you're missing a burger, you'll be compensated so much. If you ordered orange juice and spilled, you'll be compensated so much, right? So they have these policies and procedures unique to DoorDash, right? That procedures may change over time, right? The beginning, DoorDash just gave you 100% of the entire value when they were in the growth mode. Once they got to this monopoly mode, they don't give it to you as much, right? But they may have exceptions saying, Prasad orders on DoorDash every week. We want any question for proof, we'll give it all. Or I heard you, Prasad stopped ordering on DoorDash for the last 2 years. I'm going to ask him for proof that fries are missing, so I have to upload photos. Now, those are called policies and procedures. You don't put them in the instructions, right? If you put them in instructions, then your agent becomes really long because you have hundreds of thousands of policies and procedures. So you externalize them, you load them on demand, and then use that to apply to the case, right? So that's what we call as skills.
Got it. Okay, got it. Maybe a better name to just say skills and constraints or skills and policies, because then it's more clear the way you explained it.
Totally. So until now, we didn't have a language or a name for it. Anthropic introduced that concept about 3 months ago. So I want to stick to that terminology because you will start to hear that more and more.
Okay, got it.
Well, if you heard it in a different context, in different format, you should forget that, right? So skills are basically your intelligence codified in a certain structure. And we'll get into that in the end of this class.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to build a basic agent at this time. So pull up your browser. Yeah, I'm going to switch and I'm going to build along with you. I'm assuming you already registered. If you're not, feel free to register. It takes about a few seconds to do it. Are you guys able to see my screen? Okay. So when you log in, you should probably see a sidebar like this, and then you should see these blocks. We want to make it easier for you to build an agent. So we have these 2 different formats here, a smart agent and expert agent. We'll be launching a deep research agent sometime this month or early next month. These are 3 different template formats, right? So we'll start with a smart agent here. We have a number of pre-built templates here. Something called resume roaster, presentation coach, LinkedIn post writer, competitive analysis helper, etc. We're gonna pick this competitive analysis helper here. Okay, a market analyst who helps structure competitive analysis, right? So this is
Yes. How did you go to the smart agent? Can you just sort of point again?
All right. I'm gonna start again. So when you log in and land, you see this screen. Tell me if you don't see the screen, and I will.
No, just 1 second. So I have to log in again. I had logged in yesterday. Oh yeah. So I'm not seeing that. Yes, wait.
You want to share what you're seeing?
Oh, okay. I have to go back to the home. Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah, you have to be in. If you don't see it, click on create agent on the left side. You should be able to see it.
Okay, got it.
Then you click on smart agent. And by the way, you can define what kind of agent you want to build. But for purposes of the class, we'll pick one of these templates. So I'm going to pick. I'm going to search on competitive intelligence analyst or analysis helper. I'm going to pick the first one, analyst. Here is where there are few. When you're defining an agent, it's always good to give it a structure. So we built a structure into it, and you will see this concepts in other products as well. Is what role is this agent going to play? Right. The first is a strategic intelligence analyst who monitors the competitive landscape and synthesizes insights into actionable daily briefings. Right. This is the good role it's going to play. And this something is done so that this agent will limit what's doing to that particular role. Okay, so that's the idea of putting guardrails or constraints around this agent. In this case, what is the goal of this agent is daily briefings and comparative moves. I'm going to say also analyze companies by searching the internet, right? So and so on, right? I gave a couple of goals, right? So it's that, right? So you can 2 to 3 sentences. This is a high level goal. So we have defined a role and we have defined a goal, right? So at this point, it loaded a set of instructions that I had already pre-filled. If you're building from scratch, you will write these instructions, but you can always start with a template and then modify the instructions later on. Okay. So who has their hand up?
Oh, Prasad, I raised my hand just asking, do you want us to follow along with you, or are you going to finish one run and then we'll go and play it on?
Follow along with me. If you're not, I can wait for you to catch up to read it, or let me finish the steps and then I'll pause and then for 5 minutes you can follow.
Right, I think, yeah, that may work better. Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do that then. Right, so what we have done, we have defined the role, we have defined its goal, and we are now instructions. Now let's look at instructions. It's a daily briefing structure, headlines, competitive deep dives, strategic analysis, etc. So there's something we templatized it here. And then so far we have said what is the purpose of this agent and how it's going to perform that goal. Now the second half is how is it going to respond, right? So it's really, and you probably heard about agents being, really crude, etc. For example, on X.com or Twitter, they have a certain style of response, right? Versus on Claude or ChatGPT is different style of response. So you can control how it's responding. You can say, I want it to be friendly and conversational, or direct and concise, right? Or a custom tone. Right? So I'm going to pick direct and concise. You can pick anything you want, right? So here, or you can say, I want it to be quirky and funny, right? So I could do that as well. And type my.
Just a quick, what was the thinking behind defining these styles? Like, why is it 5 styles and not 2 or not 20? What was the thinking behind this?
These are very common set of out-of-the-box styles that you will see even in Claude or a number of other products. So we adapted those.
Okay, thanks.
Good question. So I'm going to pick direct and concise, and it's important to be. We like direct and concise because sometimes in a professional setting you don't want it to be verbose, right? So and then to be direct. In the case of comparative analysis, you want that to be direct and concise, right? So now, what we have done is we have so far said what it should do. And the last step is we should set guardrails, what it should not do, right? This is really, really important, right? So we say never give any legal advice, never give medical advice, financial advice, make promises or commitments, right? This is really important because agents can go on and try to, language models are trained in such a way that trying to please you all the time. So they tend to overpromise and overcommit things. So you want to make that clear. And you also want to say if the conversation is getting very angry, you want to escalate it. You can build that hooks into it. So, hey, you know what? Let me connect you with a human. So that's usually what this does. Stay on topic, no tangents. So don't veer off in a different direction, and always be honest, right? So you can add your own. I select all.
So just sorry, just tell me to shut up if I'm talking too much.
No,
Okay. So, when I made an agent for a demand planning analyst on your stuff, when I read this, what agent should never do, it was a bit confusing for me to say when I read never and never, like never in the title and never give legal advice, like it was like a double no to me. So if you just say what your agent should be prohibited from, that's it. And then let people choose the same thing. So it helps to just keep it more clear.
Yeah, no, I think you're good at, thank you for pointing that out. You should say what should an agent not do and give legal advice, give financial advice, etc. I agree with you. We'll fix it. Thanks. All right. So now we're just reviewing all instructions here, and we said this is what we said we're going to do. We're going to the role, the goal, the instructions, communication style and guide. These are 4 elements that make a
Your voice is breaking. Prasad. Yeah.
you will see this concept.
Ines, your voice is breaking again.
Yeah, Prasad, your voice is breaking.
I think it's a
Sorry, what was the
buffering or
question again?
something. It's a signal issue or something. It's some buffering of your voice goes, on and off sort of sometimes.
I think, may I suggest that you can turn on the videos for people on the call, because even for, I know it's happening to me too. So if you turn on the videos, maybe bandwidth will be saved and the audio clarity will be better.
This afternoon, our internet started acting up. So I rebooted everything, but seems like we still have those issues.
It's slightly better now, TNS.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna click generate agent here. And by the way, this is a good point. So for you to also start the process. So when you generate an agent, before it goes through, we generate, instead of you giving it a name, we come up with some ideas on names for you using AI. So I'm going to call it Intelligent Analyst Pro here, or you can give your own custom name and then click on generate. So this takes about 30 to 40 seconds to generate. So I'm going to pause here, give you 2 to 3 minutes for you to do the same, so you can catch up if you're not done that already.
Prasad, what was the category you chose? Thinking and strategy or coaching and feedback? Which was the category you had chosen?
This is the competitive intelligence analyst, I think. Right? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I was saying, but there is this 5 categories: thinking, strategy, communication, writing, and content. I'm seeing from where this is coming, because I'm trying to use a template. Using the template, right?
Yeah, it's one of the templates.
Okay, yeah, okay, got it. It's in daily intelligence. Okay, it's not categorized yet, but that's fine. Yeah. So Prasad, just while you're doing this, I was at the Consumer Electronics Show last week for 5 days in Vegas, and there were a lot of guys come from both for AI agent, but just normal AI and all that. And one of the things they said was, it's not about knowing the technical knowledge of it, but it's more about having the business knowledge to say, well, what is the problem I'm going to solve? Because whatever prompts you do, what agents you, they have to solve a business problem. So they're trying to move from a technology focus to a business focus. That's just my reading from some of the stuff at CES Vegas.
You're right. If give me a minute and I'll answer that. I want to see everybody to catch up. It's an important point you bring up, so I want everybody to benefit from it. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to go through each screen, look what's in there, and got their agent generated? Okay. All right, cool. So let's go to test an agent. Manoj, I'm going to come back to your question. Okay. So one of the things we did is that we want, as you're building this agent, you want to get it to test mode very quickly so you can experience it and so on. So if you're having trouble, that agent is not responding, you may be hitting the limits in our Gemini account. Gemini has been extremely hard to work with because they are putting all kinds of limits. So if it's not responding, you may want to change the model. Okay, but the default model is Gemini. So let's start with a simple hello. right? So if you want to, or you can just ask a question. So I'm going to say, compare Agent Man with Agent Force, right? Agent Force is a product from Salesforce. It's a competing product, right? So it's going to think through it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm lagging behind. Just give me a minute. So we are creating
Yeah.
a smart agent, right?
Yeah, smart agent, yes.
And then I just need to say who's this agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just take a minute. So you continue. I'll just take a minute.
Give you a minute or two. It's your first agent, so I want everybody to have the chance to do it.
So can you just quickly repeat, like couple of minutes, what exactly? So who's this agent? Should we write something of our own or whatever you had done? Same thing.
You can, yeah, just pick for now. Just pick one templates. Now, after the class, you can go and create your own or select many of the other templates.
So how do I? Because it's asking me who's this agent, then I should just I have to pick what? It has given
Yeah.
examples. So I'll pick
Okay.
one from the example. Is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Pick one called competitor analyst. I think it's called.
I think you need to choose the category all. This is Anita doing it. So Anita, choose
Yes.
all, then go down and select.
Small category is not coming for me. I don't know.
Oh, there's
You can search for it. I think you can just type compete and it'll show up.
Okay. Compete.
The very first one right there. Competitor intelligence in analyst. Yeah.
Competitor. Why it is not search?
Deepak Prasad is again showing on the screen.
1
The
minute.
first
Just
step. You can just check.
1 minute. Oh, so I have to say start from template, because when I'm not getting this start from a template button.
So
Just click
Everyone
on
is-
that. Yeah, when the search result came, you can pick the first one. That basically you just picked that
Start
one
from
as a
template.
template.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is the template. So these are just, it's a search. There are like hundreds of them, I think.
yeah, I
So if you
think
type,
okay, sorry. Intelligent analysis. Right? Okay, fine. Then I can just say continue. Fine. And what is the goal of this agent? What do we write?
so. If you're selected a template, right?
Yeah.
It would auto fill everything.
you can keep going. I mean, if you can add if you want to, but I think it's got enough stuff for the very first agent we're building.
I got it.
Good to
Yeah.
me.
Daily briefings. Yeah, fine. So I just need to keep pressing continue. Fine.
So Prasad, one quick question. The end goal of us doing right now is just get to the point where it says, yeah, agent created, give it a name and you're done. And you wait for you then next, right?
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, I'm getting it right. Okay.
Yeah, just
Hey, Ravi.
Hey, in the instruction section, so you've written out these instructions with certain headings.
Yeah.
So are there more options which we can enter, or we can just write in plain English whatever we want?
You can write in plain English. In fact, you can delete it and type everything.
I see.
yeah, I think at the
Okay.
bottom it allows you to.
And you can
Mm.
it's an editable field here. So you can say before you would answer, check for the latest sources from the internet, right? So all kinds of things of that nature. So you can define, you can change the whole structure, etc. Okay.
So Prasad, so after all these steps, it opens up some sort of a chat GPT kind of a thing. Test your agent.
Yeah. So once you go to that generating an agent, right? You on what we call as agent tester. It looks like ChatGPT, but you're basically converting to agent.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so you guys, Anita, Beth, you guys at that point?
Yeah, just I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So in the interest of time, I'm gonna move forward, right? So we're gonna say hello, and says great. Now, can you tell me about Agent Force? Right. So now at this point, it doesn't have anything going on. Looks like I'm running into some issues here. So I'm gonna go and change the model. Yeah. So continue. So let's go and see what's going on here. Are you guys having trouble as well? I'm having issues. So
this week here, I have trouble creating the agent because it's been like 5 minutes and it still says creating.
oh, really? Oh,
I'm not getting any response from the agent.
I see. So for those who have gotten to create the agent, let's go to the agent editor and we'll change the model. There's something that we've been seeing lately with Gemini. Gemini has overcapacity or undercapacity problems. So every time we use Gemini, we run into this occasionally. I should have used the default. Hey, Jucho.
I got the agent responding.
Okay, perfect. So what I do is we go to agent editor. If you see, look at my screen. Perfect. On the left side, you see a series of options. In there, we're going to change the model. So you see select model. We support all the top 3 vendor models, Google, Anthropic, OpenAI. You can pick any of these. So I'm going to pick my OpenAI's GPT 5.2. Okay. It's a 5.2 is a thinking model. So you will see it may take a little longer when you ask questions because it'll think and respond. But we can change the perfect. You can change, want to make it faster. You can make it, don't think too long, right? So in this case, I'm just gonna say low and save it. Right? So this is how we just switched models. I'm gonna say on the right side, now the tester is on the right side. And saying I can pull a daily briefing on competitor moves, compare companies side by side, using sources, etc. I say compare agent man with agent force, right? So now it's coming back with these answers. It says agent force is Salesforce enterprise AI agent layer designed to create autonomous agents. To compare agent man versus agent force, I need agent man's website, right? So the reason is, so far we have only told what to perform and given it a language model. And language models, even GPT 5.2, has been trained only up to a certain point in certain content. So it doesn't have any of this information, right? But if I ask a question like compare Coke versus Pepsi, right? It will come back with, a more intelligent answer because it's been trained on 50 years of Coke and Pepsi information, right? So I can go into detail analysis and so on, right? So far, you have built an agent that only is responding based on its training. And in the case of GPT 5.2, I think the training starts sometime this year. They may not have trained it on everything, though they say they have, right? So that's why it doesn't know what agent man. You've been around for a year. Are you on that screen? Maybe you can come to the agent editor, like I did.
Yeah, I'm on the test agent TNS, and I just did the same thing as what you're doing, compare agent man with agent force, and I have not gotten any responses back.
Okay, so this is what I would suggest. Go to select model. Did you change it to GPT-5 too?
Yes, I did.
And still you're stuck.
Yep. I'm exactly mimicking what you have on your screen.
Okay, did you get any response at all?
No response. I can reset the chat and try again. That's fine.
Please.
Prasad, can you repeat one more time, please? If you are stuck, then how do you get to this where you are?
No, I got to the point where selecting the GPT 5.2 and just did the reasoning effect low and that verbosity. I'm kind of exactly what he has done. And then on the test agent window, I typed compare agent man with agent force, but I don't see any responses unless I'm doing something wrong.
Okay, right. So, let's see. Can you share your screen, Pratap? I think a couple of others are also experiencing the same, so it's easy to debug that way.
Yeah.
TNS Seshagiri here.
Yeah.
So, when I attempted with the default mode, I think I did get a report. I think that made sense. Okay. I just taken a category and mark it and then, but then when I changed it to chat GPT 5.2, I don't have any response.
I think we're also facing the same.
It's not
All right, so you got low responses, etc. And here's what, can you click on traces on the left side?
Yes, actually, I also face the same problem.
On
Yeah, I think a bunch of you are facing similar problems. So
Yeah,
on the
default
left
is working.
side,
The default model is working.
okay, on you
the
have
left side?
under select model, there's a menu option called traces.
on the select model.
Yeah. So on the,
Yeah.
in the sidebar, there's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
menu.
okay.
Yeah, you can click on it for me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I clicked on that. Yeah, I did. Doesn't respond TNS on this. I
You,
did
I got
select
a
one.
response. But it's showing conversations, showing a summary, and then last 30 days it's showing latest activity.
yeah,
Latest
so
activity.
you're not seeing anything. You're not able to switch there.
I'm not able to switch there. It's kind of like stuck on that. I click on the select model, but like I'm not. It's not responding.
You're not able to click on traces.
Traces. Yeah. No, I can click on the traces.
Okay, so if you can select the first one, looks like you have the same. Okay, so this is what we can. I'm looking under the covers to see what is going on. So you see on the right side, in the very top right corner, there's a trace view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the model is just taking too long. So if you look on the left now, it shows you the step-by-step what's happening under the agent. So you in the brown bar, it says model 5.2 is called.
Yeah,
and
it's called at 88 milliseconds. Whatever.
Yeah, so it's basically stuck on the 88 milliseconds, so timed out. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it is just me or other people have gone forwards. I don't want to stop the conversation. I can definitely catch up.
1 point. So yeah, you can go back to select model again. Maybe you can switch to a sonnet or one of the other. You can also go to OpenAI and let's pick GPT 4.1 or GPT 5 mini. Okay, then save it for me. Save and then yeah, let's try it again.
TNS, where does one save? I'm not able to figure out. I'm not getting the save option when I select the model.
See on the very top next to the name, there is a toolbar says save, share, preview, deploy, do.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, okay. It's moving forward TNS now for me.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's probably yeah. It's okay. Yeah, even on the regular prompts and stuff, I see issues when I use any of the 5 and 5 dots. It's much slower.
Yeah. No, I think they're newer models, right? So it's the
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's probably doing a lot more thinking. No, I can unshare. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Great. So let's go back to anybody else. Have you been able to get through the issues?
Yeah, with the mini model, it seems to work. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I'll make sure the next time the mini model is the default. All right. So let's go back to the agent. So let's see what is the agent, right? So we did generate an agent. We tested it. We got something out of it, right? But we need to, yeah,
Ranga here.
Yes.
See, it has moved pretty well for me, and it has started giving fantastic answers also. So, like very basic elementary question I'm asking. So it is like when I ask similar things in Gemini also, I get the responses. Is that we are creating some tool like Gemini now, or how is it?
Yeah. So at this point, we seem like, in fact, Gemini probably gives you better answers because it's connected to the web, right? In Google, if you do the same thing, it's connected to the web. But if you go to gemini.google.com, it looks a lot like what we have. I will say probably I don't know anything about Agent Man, but we're going to make it even smaller, right? So follow me along. We're adding more capabilities. So at this point, it is just a bunch of instructions and a language model. That's only the two things we have, right? Which says in agent name.
It's just a prompt phase, I guess.
Yeah, right. So we gave it instructions. It's got the guardrails. It's got the style and tone, right? And then we have this tab called tasks, where agents within Agent Man are decomposing a set of tasks. So it says, in order for this, you will say welcome, hello, in a warm tone, say those things. And then when you respond, you will respond in this fashion, right? So it says, store the user's input and user query, check the user query falls within scope based on guardrails, if out of scope, politely decline, apply the instructions, deliver the response, right? This is the set of tasks that it will follow to do the job, right? And for complicated agents, this would be a collection of tasks more than just two, right? So this is, so at this point, if you go and look at any of the tabs, they're all empty, right? Skills, tools, sub-agents, knowledge. The only thing is selecting a model, right? So this is basically the basic agent. What we're going to do is I'm going to switch back to the presentation, catch up on the concepts, and then we'll come back to it. Okay. So we built an intelligence analyst agent. All it was is a goal and set of instructions. And the agent instructions and the language model are the two components that are making up the agent at this point. Okay. So we're going to turn this agent and give it eyes that is connected to the web. Okay. So a question like, hey, find me the latest information on Agent Man, it should be able to answer. And how are you going to do that? By giving it a tool to search the web. If you went back 2 years ago, when ChatGPT launched, it was behaving like this. It was not connected to the web. If you ask any questions on who won, who is the current president, it would say Donald Trump, right? Because it was 2022 and kept thinking it was Donald Trump, right? So because trained, maybe it said Biden, but you get the point there, right? So by giving it a tool such as, hey, you can now browse the web, search the web, we're going to make this actually a connected, a better agent. So let's come back to understand what tools are, and then we'll do that. So tools come in different forms, right? You have web search tool.
Hey, Prasad. Sorry,
Yes.
Prasad, can you just flip back to a couple of slides where you're showing us the 4 things on the skills, the task? I'm just trying to connect what we did. Yeah, this one, right? So can you just refresh quickly, like what we did in creating the agent? Did we use the first 2 or did we use the first 3 right now so far?
Yeah, we used the first 2, right? So we gave the language model, that we switched models, and we gave instruction. And we can verify that by going and looking here, right? In the agent editor, we can see the agent name, the goal, you can see the instructions, the guardrails, and the style, right? And the only thing additional that happened was the agent generator created a series of tasks, right? So this is how you're going to accomplish your goal, right? And
How
it
did
said
the
you're
agent know? Was that because of your template that we chose? That's why it know what task to run?
So the tasks are something that our agent generator creates. Depending on what kind of an agent you're building, it creates a series of tasks. You will see when we create the Shopify agent, it's much more complicated, right? But the tasks are created to accomplish the goals and instructions you've provided. Okay.
And kind of the guardrails are also part of the instructions, right? Just they are the don'ts of it, but they are still instructions.
Okay. Now that you asked, let's look under the covers, right? Remember we said we offer both ability to build an agent, test an agent, but also look under the agent, right? We call observability. That's a great way to learn what's going on under the covers. So you will see here when I click on it, one of this, it will show you each of the conversations I've had. So you can go back and look at all the conversations. It tells you there are 5 turns here, back and forth. GPT model was used, 4,600 tokens, number in, number out. The response times were 2.3 seconds for P50 and P99 is 21.82 seconds, right? And then if I click on this trace view, you can see what's happening under. So what's happening here is that when I said hello, input here, this was the hello, right? So, and then if I click on the model here, it will show what went to the LLM, right? The LLM got the entire set of instructions. Remember the goal, the global instruction, right? It's like we are sending everything as a package to it. Okay, including we add additional things such as what is the current date and time. So language model knows what is the date and time, so it can ask date and time questions. And then we also attach the user input. So so what exactly is happening is that to the language model, all the instructions plus our user input are sent. Okay, so now the language model has the full context of it and it's responding in this fashion, right? Hi, I'm your so and so, etc., and so on. Then the next time we said, if you go back and look at it, the second question was, after said hello, it came back and greeted me. I said compare agent man with agent force, right? When I click here, it is sending the entire system instructions all over again, plus the last user input, and then the new set of input. Okay, all of it go again. Now it knows what I said before, plus the new response. Okay, so what exactly is happening is the language models do not maintain any information from your past conversations. So you have to ship every time all the instructions, everything that was said before, plus the new input.
So they don't maintain the context, you're saying? I thought there was a setting you could say maintain the context.
Right, so they don't maintain the context. Language models are stateless or contactless. Or Agent Man or similar platforms like ChatGPT or Claude AI, they are the ones maintaining the context and sending with instructions.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so if you have a mental model, an agent is nothing but a loop with a set of instructions talking to LLMs. Okay, a loop between user, LLM, and agent. That's just the loop with history attached to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that? That's an important concept.
So how did you reach this screen? Can you just go back to the agent? How did you reach the screen?
Oh, here, you see this on the left side, traces?
Yeah, you click traces. Yeah.
And then you come here, you click on it, then you see by default, you see the turn by turn user view. And then on the top right, it's called trace view.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's the difference. The turn, what is the difference between the turn view and the trace view? Is the turn just saying the prompt coming in, and then the trace is actually the call?
No. Yeah, exactly. So it's back and forth, right? So you're going back and right. So No, we have different audiences, right? So when we deploy our agents, business users want to know what people conversations are happening, right? So they'll come and use this. People who maintain the agent want to see this view, right? This is a
So
good way to think about.
Prasad, can I ask a question here?
Yes.
So, like, I'm just trying to see it from a, enterprise perspective. So, is this kind of a platform which runs all the agents? Because there would be a suite of agents, right, to run a business. Then how does it get integrated in the enterprise? Can you throw some light on that?
So I think that's a good way. So let me get to the topic. Let me go back here. You see this button here on the top called deploy. So when you deploy, you can specify how you get what is called an agent token. So I'm going to say, don't restrict it to specific domains and make this agent live for 10 years. You get this token. And use this token APIs to invoke it. So if in an application you're invoking this agent, you would basically call this API and pass it the token. And in our agent runtime, it's running. Okay. So now this is from a developer perspective, but we also have ready-made chat clients for WordPress, for websites, for iOS apps, etc., that you can also deploy, where all you do is specify the token and the user interface is built.
Okay, got it.
So that's the deployment, and this is.
I can.
It's very
Sorry,
similar to.
this is Sridhar.
Yeah.
So I think everybody is kind of confused on, I think, why build an agent on top of a chat GPT or similar type product. But the way I see this is more like a framework. Let's say in a company, you have a manager, you have a financial analyst, and you have a biller. Like I'm from the finance side, so you don't want, if you just give access to everybody and say go do what you want, and then they can do damage, right? So a manager has 10 responsibilities. That means a manager gets 10 gadgets, more powerful ones, and the biller may have a gadget or a agent which is specific to his role, and he can only access that particular agent defined for a single purpose of that relates to his job. So he cannot simply go explore the data outside his responsibility. That's how I see it.
I think, yeah, exactly, right? That's one way to think of an agent. Well, I'll give you a few common examples of how people deploy agents. An HR assistant, let's say you have Slack and you reach out to your HR team, have questions about your vacation, etc. You could be interfacing with an AI agent, right? Where it look up your.
We missed out your voice actually. Not bad. You can just repeat what
So,
you were saying. You have
so
an
what
HR.
I was saying. So if you have in your company, you have, say, a large company, you have an HR team, and HR, in addition to making sure you're getting your paycheck, is available to answer questions about your benefits, about your vacation, etc. You could have an AI agent answering all those questions. Now, that AI agent is able to connect to your HR systems, knows your policies, knows how many vacation days you have left, and can intelligently answer those questions. And if you want to build such an agent, you would use a platform like ours.
So let's just kind of extrapolate this example, Prasad. So I'm an HR in an organization, and we use Teams as a communication tool, right?
Yeah.
Now people talk to each other on Teams. Then as an HR, I can use this platform to build an agent. And how do I kind of integrate it with the Teams? Like instead of message coming to me, it comes to an agent?
So in Teams, you have apps, right, that you can add. So an agent becomes an app in a sense.
Okay.
So in Slack, you have a similar concept, plugins or whatnot. So you take this agent, wrap it with a team app, and now people will just talk to that app.
So you have to give instructions to access the HRMS to collect the leave data and policies of the organization and give the output, is it?
Yes, and that with that, let's take it to the next topic. I think you set the stage for the next topic. Okay. So I'm going to switch to our next topic is how do we give this agent access to your data? Okay. Let's start with the very
Prasad, before we go there, is it like agents now are being built at a role level? So when a question is coming for a particular department, now Teams is becoming more intelligent. So you kind of are able to define a role-wise apps, and how does that whole architecture work? Is that something done on your platform, or is it something we do outside of the platform, the whole architecture for the enterprise?
So when you say role, what does that mean? I mean,
and for example, we just took an example of a HR agent, right? Now I could have an agent for finance, or I could have an agent for admin department, right? And as an employee, I'm talking to all of them. Now if I'm typing a question on Teams, I'm just extending my question. Now it needs to go to the relevant, somebody has to interpret, right? Now this question is meant for HR or finance, how does that whole thing come together at an enterprise level, Prasad?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. Let's say you want a single agent that talks to your finance department, that talks to HR, that talks to legal. Then you would create an agent, like a routing agent, which would then delegate that task to sub-agents. That's usually how you think about it. It's a common architecture. We have the capabilities to deploy a sub-agent architecture where there's a parent agent that will look at the question and say, hey, this is a job for the finance agent, delegate the finance agent. The finance agent will look up all the information and return the response to the parent agent, and the parent agent then returns the response to the user. Right.
So also, I can see
define the full hierarchy of that. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So the way actually I can see is, yes, that's a very conflicting information can come up, because let's say you ask a question and that information is with the two different departments. They might give you with a twist, because some may have like ABC and then some may have XYZ version of the same answer. They both will answer you, but yes. But actually my other question is, how do we have to build our own LLM for our own company specific? Let's say you said give access to a database, right? So if I have to get the data from web, let's say same way, I don't want to talk to the web. I want to talk to my databases to find what is my profit margin for January. What's my profit margin? I want to report on profit margin for every day. You know what I mean? So that means my agent has to talk to the data which is in my company. That means, am I building a language model with my data?
No, you're not. So again, hold on for these questions. Once we go to the next exercise, they'll start to fall in place. Okay? Because until we touch the topic tools and APIs, it won't be clear. We are right there.
Yeah, you would fundamentally have like some API calls to the specific applications and systems, I guess, right? That's kind of like where you're getting this information from.
Exactly. Yeah, you're on that exactly how, Pratap. So let's look at, right? So we're going to take our agent, which does not talk to the web, and connect it to the web using APIs. Okay, that's basically what we're going to do. If you think about your business, your applications having APIs, you can take an agent, connect to your business through APIs, and now it's using your data. So that's the same mental model. But we'll make it simple by connecting to the web. So what is a tool? The reason the word tool is used instead of APIs is because tools accomplish a task in this case, just like what we at home, if you want to fix a light bulb via screwdriver is a tool, right? So think of it that way. A web search is a tool. A calculator is a tool. APIs to a certain extent are a tool, such as send this email is a tool, or look up employees' last paycheck.
Your voice is breaking. Start again. Your voice is breaking.
Prasad, you may want to switch off your video.
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
Capabilities, API.
Better now.
It was thinking, Prasad. Now it sounded better now.
Okay.
Prasad, are you a little away from your router or something?
We have probably best routers up there today. Comcast is giving me a lot of trouble.
Sometimes it's just like obstructions or
I have
something,
I have a $400 mesh network in the house with 5 routers in a small place. So it's like crazy. And
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, today was not a good day for internet in my house.
Well, Pratap, this is an example of we can have the best AI models and all that, but if the broadband infrastructure or if that is going to hold up, nothing of this is going to work. And by then you've fired all the workers. So now the agent is not there and the workers are not there.
That's exactly. That's totally. So we have about 40 minutes left. There's a lot to cover. So let's keep it going. Right. So we have 4 different categories of tools, right? Or 2 actually, APIs and MCP connectors. I want to at least get to MCP. It's really, really useful capability, and it's the growing capability, right? So let's start with tools here. So we're going to add to your basic agent a web search tool. Okay. I want you to follow along with me. Here, let's go to agent editor. Okay, everybody here? Agent editor. Then we'll click tools on the left side. And we're going to add a tool. Okay, click add tool. And you will see common tools collection. Okay, I want you to click on that. And you see web search. Okay. These are tools that we built. We make it available to any user. But if you're using another platform, you have to create your own tools. So here is a web search tool. You add it to the agent. Right? You click add, and you can then close this. And here you will see when you add it, there's a little JSON object available for you to look at. Okay. And in fact, if I click on the pencil icon, I can see it here. What does it do? In order to search the web, it uses Google's custom search API, and it calls this particular API right? Every time it asks a question, it calls this particular API, and the arguments are what is the user asking? It's a query. Right? So that's basically what this is. It's a pre-canned or pre-built tool. Basically we are making an API call. Okay. So I'm assuming everybody added this tool. Now click
added the tool. I can see the JSON script and stuff. You went into some other view TNS after this.
Pencil here.
I don't see any pencil.
Okay, if you collapse web search, you see this little pencil icon on the right side. Here.
No, I just see web search added.
Let me see if there is a way for me to turn on eye tracking. Is there a way to turn on eye tracking here? Options and hold on, let me do this. There should be a way to adjust view, use functionality settings. Mouse.
Sorry, Pratap. I think when you went under the tools and saw the web search, did you say add
Yeah.
button?
Yeah. No, it shows me added right now.
Okay.
And I see the JSON script, but even if I collapse the web search, I don't see that editor button and stuff.
I do see it. Just you.
Unless until I'm the only one, again, don't want to hold up. You can move forward from the learning with the learning.
This add to agent we should select, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And the web search.
Pratap, on the web search, next to web search, you see the small HTTP text, right? Do you see that?
No, I see all of the JSON script here.
Yeah, but no, just along the same top line, next to web search, what do you see? Do you see HTTP?
I just see a green check mark and added.
Okay, so do you see this? You see my
no, I don't see the editor.
Click on tools again, Pratap. Click on tools again on the left.
Okay, so did you close after you added? Did you close it?
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Sorry, yes. Yeah, now I close it and I see that. Yeah, okay.
And then you can go back and look at the details by clicking on that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. So now you save it. Okay. So what we have done is we have given our strategic or competitor analyst a tool searching the web. So I can now say compare agent man and agent force, right? So let's see if it picks up the tool, right? Because until now, it couldn't find much information on agent man. So it's going and searching, right? It says, look, now it's starting to give me information on agent man. Okay. Scrolling again, so it's going to generate all of it. When it finishes, you'll see.
So Prasad, is it fair to say that you kind of gave it a LLM?
So I gave it a tool, right? So once the LLM knows that, hey, I can search the web using this tool, it will start using the tool to get to the web to find the latest information.
Right.
Okay. So how do I know this, right? So you see this little icon, a button on the top right corner called tool calls. You select that, it will show what tools it called. Okay. It called this tool called web search by passing it agent man, agent platform, number of results 5, which it came back with all this information, right? So it did multiple searches, right? It crafted this search, it crafted this search, it crafted this search, and this search, right? A number of searches and all the responses to those. Okay, it's got a lot of information. It came back with total results, success. If I can expand it here, you can see, right? It did all web search results. And then it crafted the response for me based on it. It said agent man is this, Salesforce is this. Then it did a side-by-side comparison of it, right? And then gave me the sources of where it got from. It also says what are strategic implications. Choose agent force if you are heavily invested in Salesforce CRM. Choose agent man if you're tool agnostic. A marketplace to deploy monetize agents, etc. What if I need from you to tailor this and make it actionable? So that's follow. So I can do that. So just by adding the tool, we made it suddenly more aware of the real world, right? So
Prasad, just a quick question. Under the covers, is the agent man calling the web search, or is the actual LLM directly calling the web search?
Okay, very good question. So let's look at the traces, right? So this is where the traces come very handy. So by the way, I used shift and open traces in a different tab here. So if you're wondering how I got to that, we'll click on this. And this is where is a good way to understand what exactly is happening. So this is what we went back and forth. This is a messages view. I'm going to click on the trace view, right? In the trace view, the first call was a model call. So the model, when LLM, got all the system instructions and the user input. The LLM actually responds by saying, call these tools for me. right? It constructs, hey, call this tool called web search, and these are the arguments. It's basically giving all the 5 tools. Agent man then takes these tools and then calls them, okay, and takes the responses and sends it back to the model. So if you look at the model call, you will see in here will contain additional all the data that came back from the tools for it to synthesize. Okay.
Got it. So what you're saying is, or am I interpreting this right? So you've configured the LLM with a tool called web search, and then the LLM makes a decision on when to call web search, but it doesn't know how to call. So it's going to come back to you after analyzing the question. It'll come back to you and say, hey, please call web search with the following whatever questions or parameters. And then the agent is actually making those calls and collating the responses, feeding it back to the LLM. Is that a fair articulation?
Exactly. Right. So it is a very good way to what you have described, right? So I'm going to show you a couple of diagrams which I have to bring from a different set of slides. So I'm going to put that in here for purposes of understanding. So my styles here. So I'm going to go back to my slide. So here is what it looks like, right? So when this is an example of a shopping example. Actually, I want to return my order. It goes to the agent. The agent then sends all those instructions plus the user input to the language model. The language model says, hey, look,
Actually, now you will speak. Okay.
Sorry, you can't see me?
No. When you started speaking, couldn't see the screen. Now I can. Yes.
Okay. So it's maybe a timing issue. So here's an example of a shopping transaction, right? A shopping conversation where the Shopify agent is being asked a question. I want to return my order. Right? So here's I want to return my order. And here it says the agent then takes that input, takes the agent instructions, sends them to language model. And along with the instructions, it has a collection of tools. And one of the tools is get order. Other is check inventory and create return. 3 tools are provided. The LLM says, look, in order for me to answer this question, I need more information, and I've got all these tools. I'm going to give it back to the agent saying, here is, can you call this order, this tool, get order. This is the order ID, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, agent man calls the tool, gets the response, right? And then it calls the next tool, gets the response, and third tool gets the response and sends it all to the language model. Right? This made 3 calls, get all the information and send the language model. The language model then generates a summary.
This is an awesome depiction. Just one follow-up question. From your experience, are there scenarios where LLM does all this, or in this example, LLM does the orchestration, right, and reasoning and what it needs?
Yes.
Are there any scenarios where the agent man needs to orchestrate, or would this flow be always the same way?
Yeah. So the first generation of agents were doing the orchestration. So for example, people who build with Crew AI or LangChain, which are code first, they tend to do the orchestration. Okay. So when it comes to no code, what we early on realized that the language models will get better and better at orchestration. So we built with the assumption that they are better at it than to write it in code. And that thought process actually is bearing fruit now, because language models are really good at orchestrating and not this way we don't have to write code for it.
Awesome. Thank you.
So let's go back to our slides here. So I'm assuming everybody has used the web search tool at this point. Okay. So we're going to do, sure.
Yes. I did add the web search tool, but my responses were not similar.
Perfect.
I'm getting just a general response which says I'm a strategic intelligence analyst and I monitor this. And it's giving me a lot of options. I don't know why it's doing this. Have I missed
same thing I'm seeing too.
Okay, so here is what we got.
Generic response kind of deal is all I'm seeing too.
And the language model you probably are using is like GPT-4 mini.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same. GPT-5 mini. Yeah, GPT-5.
5 mini, yeah.
So this is where the higher models, the more expensive models, will figure out without being told to use a tool. Okay, if you're using a lower model, you would go into instructions and say, whenever you're responding, right? So you get a user query. For example, I'm going to add a little magic here and say, store the user input in user query. I say, if you need information from the web, use the $tool web search. Okay, add this instruction to this. You can add it here, you can add it in the goals and guardrails in instruction. As long as it's in the set of system prompts at the very beginning, it will start to behave, right? So what we're basically saying is, language model, hey, look, when you want to look up information from the web, use this tool.
How did you do that? You went.
I went to tasks, right? And there's a task called respond. I don't know what in there. You just type, if you need information from the web, use the tool web search. Okay, $tool web search.
Just hang on for a second. If you
Yeah,
need,
yeah. This is such an important idea that by tying instructions to tools like this, you can use a cheaper model and get the same performance as the more expensive models. In fact, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to switch
how
to
did you get the name of the tool there?
Oh, I just remembered. So I web search, right? I
Tool.
Yeah. I typed $tool colon, and then it has a little helper context in it. Then I just click on it like that.
I didn't get the helper thing.
Yeah. But if you just start typing, maybe it will bring up.
Okay, I typed it, but yeah, I get it. So now I just save this.
Yeah, and now you save it, right? And then I'm going to reset.
And
I also-
Prasad, this web search will only show up if you added the web search tool in this agent, right? Okay.
It won't show otherwise.
After saving, I just run the test again, is it? Basically.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So you can say now it should come. I'm going to just tell me about Agent Man.
No, it didn't do that actually.
What would like know and compare it to?
Yeah, even for me, if I typed all of that in, it my save is failing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's saying.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, you're saying a save is failing?
Yeah, it says if I save it, it says like save failed, unknown error occurred.
I was able to save, but it's telling me that I can do that quick clarifying option so that I can give you exactly what you need. Do you want a live source profile, any context, something? And what I will include once you confirm live, then it gives you a whole list of options, I think which options and what context. So
yeah, I mean, it's
response.
has that works. Yeah. So if I select 5, I'm going to. Okay, Pratap, why don't you refresh and try it again?
Okay.
Refresh the page, see if it's still there, and then compare. I change it to compare Agent Man, Agent Force. Let's see.
Failed to load agent details and refresh it.
Okay, so this you can see now how you use a smaller model like GPT-5 Mini, it doesn't necessarily very good at this kind of reasoning capabilities. So let's see if you can switch to a higher model. Okay. The smaller models such as Mini are useful for very simple tasks such as summarization, data extraction. They're not really good at analyzing a lot of content and doing reasoning, like comparative analysis of things. Okay, so let's compare. I just switched it back to 5.2. Right, and then I'm going to pick low reasoning here and save it. Because it's going to take a long time if I do comparison with agent.
Where did you pick low reasoning? Can you just point me to that?
Yeah.
Achha.
In Prasad, when you select this quick light reasoning or medium or whatever, right? Is there a correlation to correctness or the confidence of the answers?
So in this case, we are using web search with sources. So you're gonna get similar results, whether it's long reasoning or short reasoning. If you're not using sources, right? If you're not saying, hey, you always back your answer with sources, then with low reasoning, you may not quite get the same answers.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Prasad, have you tried to use Notebook LM at all as one of the models, or because it can limit?
Notebook LM is not a model; it's just an application built on top of models.
So we cannot call the application itself.
No, it's like Claude or ChatGPT, right? They're just applications built on top of LLMs.
Okay. I need to research that more. I'm not fully clear. I use Notebook LM for the consulting work, but I haven't.
Yeah,
I didn't know what's under the covers. Yeah.
Right. So what we're gonna do is let's see. I'm gonna show the next two sections as more as demos. And you can it's recorded, so you can try it out afterwards, right? Because that way we can finish the material. We have 20 minutes left. So let's build an expert agent. It builds on the concepts that we have so far, right? So so far what we have done is we had goal, instructions, and we gave it a web search tool. But it's only as useful, right? It's okay. It's nice. You know, I can search the web. That's great. I don't need to build an agent. I can just go to Gemini and do it, or Claude and do it, right? They are doing the same. They have a web search tool built into it, so they do it automatically without adding. But
just a second. Baid is trying to get back in. He's facing some problem. You have to approve his entry or something.
Oh, okay.
He just called me.
Okay, so let me see. It's always a challenge finding the little icon here. Oh, okay. I think there are quite a few. So I had given approval to automatically add in. Maybe they logged in using different ID. So when that happens, I think it causes that problem. So yeah. So going back to our presentation here. So far what we've done is we've built an agent that connects us to the web using a tool. Now we're going to build an agent that connects to your data, right? Your business data, your business knowledge, your business intelligence. We're going to do 2 of 3. Is one, connect to your data, and then yes, please share that in the chat, and I will definitely pick that up. Right, your business data and your business intelligence. So here I'm going to build a Shopify agent. I'll do it slowly. So if you want to follow along, please do. So we're going to go into the agent editor. And here on the top, on the left side, we have Agent Studio. There's a button called menu option called Create Agent. Okay. Click on it. That will bring you back to that first screen where we're going to now select Expert Agent. In the expert agent, now we come to the screen, we're going to search for Shopify. Okay. So I'm going to select Shopify Store Assistant Pro. And I'm going to accept all the defaults. Okay. That means it's going to build a Shopify agent which helps customers with finding products, managing their orders, ensuring satisfaction, browsing to delivery. Right. So it's basically that's the setup of the role. Sure.
TNS, can you just show how you selected Shopify once again?
Come back here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the screen, right? Expert agent. And just type Shopify. You'll find it. It's like the first option.
Oh, I'm not getting any of those options.
Are you in basic or are you an expert? Smart or expert? Which one do you pick?
Yeah, create expert agent is the screen I'm on.
Okay, and you don't see. Do you see any of what I'm saying?
Yes.
You
Oh
see-
yes, Shopify Store Assistant Pro. Yeah, got that.
Okay. So under e-commerce and sales is the first one.
Sure. Got it.
Perfect. And now we're gonna get roll. I'm gonna skip to it's the same, right? Different set of instructions.
Yeah.
What's the goal of this agent? Search for products, provide recommendations, track inventory, process returns, support customers. You can
Yep.
see there's a diverse set of tasks, right? Like 5 or 6 tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here, the only thing you'll see here in the instructions different is, product discovery. It's natural language product searches, filters, smart recommendations, order management, check order status and tracking. You can say, hey, always ask for email using email, right? You can add. And I'm also asking it, giving a collection of tool names, not the tools, just the tool names. Search Shopify catalog, will search products with filters, get product details, will fetch complete product information. That's the tool names. They're not real tools. And then, how do you engage with customers? Some instructions here. Okay.
Prasad,
now I'm going to continue.
just this is Manoj again. This is a quick question. These instructions, these are a template that you have created, correct? And then the strength or weakness of the agent is equal to the strength of this template that is created. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
I'll give an input, right? Like I'm a supply chain architect. So, for example, the distribution center or the warehouse from where the product is shipped is not in this. So that's where the original comment came, right? Like you need business. If you want to solve a business case, then you need to make sure this has that business logic required to make the agent work.
Okay. So yeah, now I can answer that question, right? Now that you have experienced it. So what you have is agentic technology. The agentic technology itself doesn't know your business, right? And how you do it. So you will have to craft those instructions yourself to be able to make the agent useful to you, right?
Yeah.
So now the language model,
right? It's not just about useful. It needs to be accurate enough and good enough that, like, I'll tell you what happened in Vegas last. They said instead of having 5 demand planners, I can have 1 demand planner and 4 digital workers or 9 digital workers. But training the digital workers is the job of that 1 demand planner. He needs to be good at knowing what the other guys are doing so he can create the digital worker. So I believe like this is good technology, but you need to have the business domain knowledge to make use of it well. Otherwise, it won't work.
yeah, exactly. That is true with anything, right? Let's say you hire a new person. That person must have come from Stanford or MIT. The best credentials, must have worked in McKinsey. They don't know your business. You still have to make them go onboarding, training, teaching them everything, right?
Yeah, but it's a good start though, right? It gives you an idea, and you got a template right there in front of you. You can just put your stuff, look at it, and then add more stuff. I mean, I think that's the point. Prasad. I think that's a good point.
So this is what we say, right? We say, why does a 22-year-old Y Combinator not build an agent that is useful? Is because they don't have domain expertise. right, in the agentic world. So it's you guys who have the domain expertise are the people who can build really useful agents. And you bring that experience and the intelligence and the knowledge and codify it in instruction form to make it really useful and pertinent to your business. So,
Prasad, I have a follow-up question here. One of the things about AI is being said is that it is important for organizations to invest it in now so that over the period of time it gets the business context and becomes intelligent. But what you also said that today agents do not have that ability to continuously learn. So you are saying that what it is today, it will be same after 1 year if it is working in an organization, or will it evolve?
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second. So let's say you built the initial version of the agent, you deployed it. What I mean by continuous learning is that you, as the agent manager, right, you will periodically go check the conversations here, right? In fact, if you come back to Agent Studio at the home here, there is a little link here, little conversations, and these are all the agents deployed in this account. And by the way, we have multiple workspaces, so you can create workspaces and deploy agents in different workspaces. So in this workspace, I have all these agents. I select it, and as a business manager of that agent, I'll go review all the back and forth and say, hey, where is it performing? Where is it falling aside? And use that information to go change the instructions, right? So that's been done manually today.
So it's a human who makes it intelligent. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we say after you deploy an agent, it takes about 3 months to get it right. So because you're iterating, and so on. This year, what will happen is we'll start to see agents doing that for you. So there'll be agents deployed here that will go look at every conversation, judge it, bring out the nuances, and say, hey, this is where it's not going well, according to good conversations or the examples that are given to me as good ones. And I'm going to use that and then go back and change the instructions dynamically for you and deploy a whole new agent.
Or actually create another agent to monitor all the questions and feedback from everybody and have it build its own instructions.
Exactly.
And only come to you for approval. Only come to you for approval because sometimes you don't want to just enable it because you want restrictions.
Got it.
Right?
Yes. I gave you what is ideal case, but what you said is the realistic case, right? You don't want to ever feel, because you want to have that control. So you, like you said, do all the grunt work and then tell me what's wrong and what your proposed fix, and I will approve it.
Yep.
That is the world we will get to within the year.
Okay. Yeah.
No, also, TNS, if I may ask, so suppose we have an agent, let's say, I mean, like Manoj's question, right? In a supply chain world. And so the access to different platforms or systems, right? And like, there will be policies and regulations on like, who the hell can see what and how much can you get. So how does that whole thing work?
Same way that we have now.
Right?
Lot of complexity.
What is it? Access to policies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can get into an HR system, but I can't see all kinds of information because based on what my role in the organization is, right?
Yeah, so that's where you have when let's say you are hired to do the HR application, right? In your organization, not generative AI, right? Before generative AI came along, you would have access to those policies.
Yeah, if I'm already in that, yes.
Yeah, the same thing will happen with agents too. The people who are building agents will have access to those policies, without which you can't judge the results, right?
Got it. Okay.
So
I think the only one benefit here, that's the way I say, I think I know I'm not into the AI business, but the way I see is when they say language model is like I'm giving an instruction to this big, massive computer to do things. So what that means is, remember the web search? So there'll be a database search, but I don't have to have a developer write a query because this language model, based on my instruction, is going to write its own query, search the necessary tables, bring the data, and bring it back to me in the format I need, and done. That means my simple English instruction will probably, yeah, get rid of many people who are writing developers code. Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, is that what's going to happen? I mean, is that what we are thinking?
already
Is it gonna
happening at a faster clip.
Yeah.
So we don't. So
Hey,
the
Prashad.
company. Yes.
I have a doubt. Here, a tool required. There is an option tool required. Here I can see search shop catalog, search product with filters. What are these? You said these
Sorry.
are not a standard tool. Am I audible?
Yeah. So you're talking about
Yeah.
these, right?
Yeah. So
So
what
these
are these?
are. So remember when we added a tool, web search, right?
Yes,
And so
yes,
on.
I remember.
For this shopping agent, we need similar tools, right? I want to search the catalog when somebody asks a product question. I need to look up order history when somebody asks me a product question. So in the instruction, I gave it a list of tool names that it will be made available to it.
Web search was a tool that I could see that there in tools list. Are these search sort catalog, these tools are also available there
Yeah.
in tools required?
Okay. So wait for a few minutes and you'll see it come together.
Okay, sure.
So actually, one last thing. So eventually, all we need is bunch of agents which define their responsibilities and security. Obviously, like Pratap said, oh, who can has access to what. So you define security structure, responsibility structure, define agents, provide proper instructions. Done. Company runs on its own. Is that what's going to happen?
Yes, it is possible. Let's hold up on this. Yes, finished. Get to the hypothesis. We get that ideal world, but it may take 5-10 years to get there. Okay, so none of us are losing jobs anytime soon.
No, I think no. I think I'll be building agents. Why will I not have a job?
Yes, there you go. You'll be the boss. So I'm gonna pick friendly and conversational here for the tone, and then say I'm gonna add an instruction custom guardrail saying say you do not know the answer, right? So I'm just gonna pick the easy ones here and just go with that for now, and continue. Pick an answer name, right? Shop Assistant Pro, and generate. Okay. Now this may take a little longer because this is a this is a complicated agent compared to the first one. So please go ahead and do generation. It may take up to a minute. So what is
actually what I see is in the future, I think your agent will have a lot more features. So just like any ERP model starts with one form and ends up with 100 forms with so many business rules, because you need to have all these legal things managed country to country, with business to business contracts. So there's so much to be built into this with multiple tabs. But the only thing is you only talk in normal communication language, because everything is going to be done in the background. As long as you can communicate to the thing clearly with rules documented in every, so there could be a lot more tabs here.
Okay.
In the
So
future.
whatever you said, you're gonna see today. I don't know how to see the future. That's what we're gonna unveil. The most important thing, that what makes agents, your intelligence, the skills. So once we get past through this, I'll show you skills. Okay.
And the way I see is, if I'm communicating, like an earlier question, right? If I'm communicating, protocol, setting up protocols. So if I want to answer, like say, hey, I want somebody is on vacation, right? But if a manager is asking, I want different answer. If a employee is asking, I want different answer. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. A lot of rules need to be set up. Yeah.
All right, continue.
So Shiva,
I'm gonna skip
Prasad,
here.
I'm asking a logistic question. We are
Sure.
only 2 minutes away from, or 1 minute away from the scheduled time. So
Yes, yes.
what do we do? Should we have a follow-up conversation, or what do you suggest?
I'm here. I can do another 30 minutes. I don't know the rest of you. We are on a roll here. We can finish, or we can set up a follow-up call.
Yeah, I think
I
we can
think
continue.
it's
with-
good. 30 minutes is good with us, at least for me. So somebody else can say, but 30 minutes further is good.
30 more minutes? All right, we'll continue. And we'll be good to go in 30 minutes, Prasad?
Yeah, we'll get that. If we are no more hypothesizing the world. So I'd love to talk about what the future looks like. Given the time constraints, let's get the ball rolling. Okay.
Okay, Prasad, what you can do is you run through your presentation. If there's time remaining, we'll just put questions in the chat so it can be in the parking lot. So you can
Perfect.
take them up if you have time after.
So I'm going to go to Edit Agent here and walk you through the tasks here. So you can see here now we have 4 more tasks. One is product discovery. In the product discovery, it says prompt the user for product interest and use the search shop catalog tool. Right. Then your order management, it says get the customer ID and then use fetch order details with customer ID to retrieve order information. Right. So it's now language models understand how e-commerce works. So it has created these tasks for me based on whatever little instructions that I gave. Right. So it says, hey, if the user wants to do product discovery, follow these steps. If the user wants to order management, follow these steps. If he wants to manage their cart, update it, follow these steps, etc. And customer engagement is how do you respond to the customer? Right. So
sorry, Prasad, you came to the screen by pressing on edit your agent?
I think, Manoj, to your supply chain question, you would go and update this instruction to follow specific instructions for your business, right? So this is where the tasks may matter. The thing that you've seen is that I'm going to test it and say, find me mice or my back.
I do the same thing as you're doing. I don't see this manage cart thing. Did you add that?
No, I think we didn't get
Let
it.
it
That's
come
why
back,
maybe
and
access
then
level is higher.
next time I have some.
No, I
Sorry,
think
come again?
your access level may be higher. We didn't get it, but that's okay. I think you got managed.
Yeah, okay, yeah, got it. No.
Without even I did not get it. So just
okay.
Go ahead.
I have to call my account manager, who's they have been very stingy about giving out something's wrong. Okay. So giving
in our TNS, I have only 3 tasks: product discovery, customer engagement, and order management. Going
That's
through the
fine.
same.
The task number of tasks is up to the agent. You're using language models to generate the agents, right?
Okay.
So sometimes it chooses one, sometimes it chooses the other. But as long as it has everything instructions in there to answer different questions, you'll be good. Right? So I'm going to say find me mice for my Mac. Right. So I changed the model to a mini. I made it low reasoning. Hopefully it will come back with answers. While that's happening, I wanted to show you a few tabs here, right? So it came back with these data. Then you ask the question, how come it's able to pull all this data? Okay, we didn't connect it to a backend or a store. So I'm going to select this tool called here. It actually created a tool. It's calling a tool called Search Shop Catalog, and it's got all the responses. So what we do is when you generate an agent on Agent Man, you can get to the demo stage or prototype stage by not worrying about what backend to connect. We do that by creating mock tools. We call them synthetic tools. You see them in the tool call here, synthetic, etc. So you can sit in front of a customer, build an agent, demo it with all synthetic data. Right? So you type in instructions, etc. in the wizard, it'll create all of that for you, and you can demo it. And when, in fact, you can go on to test it, share it with the customer using the share button, right? You share it, you get a link, and you can send it. And then, can you give me a second here? My son's calling. Hey, Vidur. Hey, Vidur. You call your mom? You have your mom's phone, and she's on the way there. I'm at home. So you have Nani's phone? I try calling on his phone. Okay. Let me call her. 1 second.
Pratap, I hear you. Thank you so much for delivering it. I think it just reminded me of going back to Pilani class. The same guys are asking all the questions.
Waiting for a Girdhari trip.
Same guys are asking all the questions and very relevant. So I just told my daughter that I'm attending class with the 10 pointers from yesterday's.
Please, I'm remotely even close to that stuff.
So coming back, so what we've done here is we have created what are called mock tools that will generate the data needed to power your agent, right? Dynamically generates it, right? There is not tied to a specific product here. I could say, find me saris under $200, and the same tool will work. It'll go and make up the data, right? So really call the search catalog with saris under $200, etc. Women's range of fabrics, silk, cotton, chiffon, right? And then it'll come back with some randomly cooked up responses, right? Royal blue, Banarasi silk sari, and so on. Now, this is great for quick demos, right? Wow factors, etc. You can do sales demos sitting in front of the customer and build an agent with mock data, and then boom, have it. And to your earlier question, Sri, is why did we use the tool names? I wanted to use the tool names because I want the synthetic tools to be created with that names. By the way, if you don't specify tool names, it will create it in its own form. I want it in this form because what I'm going to do next is going to replace these tools with real tools. Okay. So to explain, before I get to it, I wanted to introduce a new concept, which is what we did, synthetic tools. Our mock tools enable rapid agent building without API concerns. And by the way, synthetic tools are very unique to AgentMan. They're not available on any other platform. We do it. We've been doing it for a year and a half, and it's a great way to build prototype agents within a few minutes. You can shape the tools by going and changing what should be the input, what should be the output, and it will generate it in that form. Okay? This is how you define it, and then language models are used to generate the data dynamically. Okay? We have, in fact, researchers at Stanford use these tools for generating synthetic biodata. Right? So they use that in ways that we have not imagined. So I want to introduce model context protocols, right? So far, you've seen that when you have APIs, if you're connecting, let's say, to travel, you want to, let's say, book a ticket to go somewhere and buy a hotel ticket, etc. You need to make an airline ticket purchase. You have to make a hotel purchase. You have to reserve a car. You may have a lot of APIs, and each of the APIs requires separate authentication. It starts to become very messy, right? So, for example, 5 APIs AI apps that need to connect to 10 different systems, 50 integrations. Now you have different authorization capabilities with APIs, the formats, errors. It starts to become really messy. So the early version of the agents used to be really, really hard to maintain because of all the different API formats one needed to integrate with. About a year and a half ago, Anthropic came up with something called Model Context Protocol. If you remember, for those from the 90s, before where databases were new, it was really, one had to build special programs just to connect to Oracle, which was different from Sybase, which was different from others, until a protocol called ODBC came along, right? So that allowed an application to connect to any relational database using consistent interface. So think of Model Context Protocol is a protocol that allows agents to connect to backends with a very universal format. Okay, so that immediately changed the way we connect to backends dramatically. There are, for every application out there, there's an MCP server that you can use. Okay, the other analogy we like to give with Model Context Protocol servers is that before USB-C, every phone had its own charger, right? So you would carry all these cables, or an iPhone and Android, have a different version of iPhone, would carry all these cables. With USB-C, you have just one cable. So before MCP, you had every API, on the planet needed its own authorization interface, the way it would talk to it, the way you would know about it, etc. With MCP, you have one consistent interface. So agents can talk to backends in a consistent way. Some of the benefits of MCP is that when you define an AI agent, my son is again calling me. It looks like my wife is, hey, Vidar, are you still waiting? Okay. Okay. She'll come in for you. Okay.
Laksh?
Hey, if you need to drop, please, man, drop TNS. If you need to pick the guy up.
No. It's one of those weird situations. My son went to a game night to play this Magic World game, and he's at a game shop. My wife gave me her phone. He didn't take his phone because he didn't charge it. So she's on the way there. Even if I leave, I'll be chasing them around in the car.
Got it.
It's not the most practical thing. So they'll figure it out.
You please make a call. If you need to run, that's okay.
So yeah, he saw her drive around, so he's being careful.
Prasad, this is a new use case, man, for your next agent. The next agent should be able to handle all these things. Oh, take a 5-minute break if you want. Just handle all that and we'll come back. That's fine. If you want, just settle that out and we'll come back.
So Manoj, where are you? Which time zone are you in?
I'm in Toronto, in Eastern time zone.
Oh, okay. Same time as mine. I think, yeah. I think we're ready to sleep, right? I think, yeah. You can see it in my
man,
voice.
this is so exciting. We're gonna go till 3:30, go to GC, get chai and all that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So looks like my wife already found him, so it's all good. So I want to finish this topic so we can get along. So here, with MCP servers, a consistent interface makes it easy for Claude to connect to backend, a ChatGPT to connect to backend, or any agent to connect to backend. So if you've seen connectors showing up in ChatGPT and Claude, they're all using MCP servers. Okay. Mommy came? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're going to, in AgentMan, we support now a growing collection of MCP servers for you to connect to a variety of backends. Okay. And we have about 25 or 30 servers, and that number keeps growing as we go along. So I'm going to connect our agent to a Shopify store. Okay. So the way you do it is go to library. You see MCP servers here. I'm going to register an MCP server. Add server. I'm going to click Shopify and click connect here. In here, I'm going to type, by the way, I'm going to send you the deck. In the deck, you will see instructions for Shobhitam. So Shobhitam is a website where they sell saris, founded by a wife of one of the Vitsians. I think he's from the 90s. Okay, that's why I like to use it as an example when I'm doing these demos. I'm going to come back here, enter that website here, and give it a name. So I think looks like I'll call it show with them 2, just because I already did that once before, and it's connected. Now, if I click on show with them 2, it'll show me all the tools it has, this MCP server. These tools, it says search shop catalog. It describes exactly what this particular tool does, what format it accepts arguments, and what response it comes back, right? And the same thing with get card, update, etc. Okay. Now, if you're asking, what about a tool that is non-Shopify? Okay, I'm going to show you an example of Amplitude. And if you guys have used Amplitude before, click Amplitude, connect, and it's going to connect to my account on Amplitude. Okay, dynamically it pulls up. I give it an authorization. Now it's connected to my account. It's exchanged through OAuth, and now I can access my Amplitude data. And the tools it has is different, because with Amplitude you have get charts, get cohorts, create cohort, etc. Right? So with very simple interface, now we have made it accessible to an agent. With this, vendors are building these MCP tools at a very fast clip. So now that I've registered a Shobitham 2 MCP server, I'm going to connect it with my agent here. Right? What was the agent that we had? I think it was the Shop Assistant Pro, I believe. I'm going to come here and look at the tools. I'm going to replace search shop catalog with the MCP tool. I'm going to delete this first. And
Ines, one question. So if the database is within my own company, that means I am the vendor myself. That means I have to provide these using MCP tool. I have to expose all those methods.
yeah, you will expose the methods. You can create a OAuth interface. You can have a static token, all those things. But that's the preferred mechanism we would recommend.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah,
and
and
any place where I can get more information on how to use this MCP, or is it available everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere, right? In fact, you can generate an MCP server in Claude.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Right? It's you once you see it's nothing but some kind of an abstraction of APIs, collection of APIs. There are if you use Postman, Postman has the capability to generate an MCP server based on APIs.
Thank you. Yep. Thank
you. So here I'm clicking Shobitham 2, and I'm going to add the search shop agent. Yeah. Now, this particular search shop agent catalog is an MCP tool, and the rest are still synthetic. Okay, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to say, find me saris under $200 in silk to be worn for Sankranti, right? So now it's going to connect to the store, find the saris that are $200, and bring it back. Okay, just it. Right, so you can see here, it's saying shobitham.com products. I can look at the tools calls here. Let's look at the tool calls. Search shop catalog, silk saris for Sankranti under 200. It came back with material silk. These are the inputs. All this was put together with language model. Language model constructed that particular tool call, gave it to agent man. Agent man then made that call and returned the response back to language model, which then constructed this response. And then if I click on this and separate tab, I can see it going to maroon, korwai, kanchi silk, cotton. I can, in fact, come back here and ask follow-up questions. I say, and they're all under $200, right? You can say, also found some pure silk saris, but those are priced under 200, about 200. Yeah, sure. Show me the ones above. Show me the pure silk ones. Right? This is how you upsell to make people buy pure silk over a mixed version, right? So now it's making the search call again. No, it's looking under 200. It's not able to find it. It found one, looks like 193, that pure silk. So this is how you can Where is this? Admit again. I think Beth keeps coming and going. So, we are able to just with simple connection now connect the store. Okay. So I want you to encourage you to try it with this particular MCP server. By the way, that will not just work for Shobhitam, but any Shopify store. If you can take the URL, put it, you can connect to the store. Okay, if you know Gymshark, Adriana Papples, etc., you can in fact go to top 100 Shopify stores and pick any one of them, and you can connect to them. Now you may ask the question, I didn't log in to any of these because all you can do is connect to their product catalog. You can't get their order history. In order to connect to the order history, you have to log in. That means you need a different MCP server that connects to their order history, okay, which will require you to log in. But you can pick any of the stores here and try it out. So I'm going to go on to the last topic, which is really exciting.
TNS quick question. So on that MCP servers, yes, that Shobhitam thing, yeah, I kind of like did the same thing. Yeah, it's definitely giving me something under whatever dollar amount, saris, whatever I did. So now the question is, you have a finite amount of available MCP servers. I mean, so new things can be added here. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So if you have your own MCP server, right? So let's come back to our, and it's not available in this catalog, ready-made catalog. You can do custom.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So you can if you don't have authentication, you can say authentication. You have static, you have OAuth. We support all three models.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah, we're all custom. I think the earlier question was, if I have my own data, you will probably create a custom MCP server available only on your network and or available only to you. So you can add that here through this.
And I have a static token and kind of, yeah, okay.
Right. So by the way, all this are encrypted and stored in a secret vault. So static tokens are only decrypted at the time of calling and thrown away. Right. So so it's only used for calling and then put back. If it's OAuth 2, then you get a refresh token every time and so on. The only reason why we have not added more is it takes time to make sure they work. Right. We do a lot of testing to make sure we are putting something up here. But you have Notion. One of my favorite ones is Parallel AI. Parallel AI is the company that was founded by ex-CEO of Twitter, the Indian who was, before he was kicked out by Elon Musk. He started Parallel.ai. It's really much better search the web. So they do. Well, it's free for the first, $100, something like that. If you want to search the web.
Jack Dorsey? This is a Jack Dorsey company?
It's the Parag Agarwal.
Okay, the guy. Okay, just before him. Got it. Yeah. He's the ID Bombay guy. Yeah.
Your Monday.com, your Sentry. Travago is, in fact, doesn't need authentication. You can search Travago without authenticating. Same thing with Crypto.com. You can literally build Crypto.com. GoDaddy, you can search without authenticating in there. Linear is a project management app. Notion is project management, right? You have to authenticate your account and connect to it. Mermaid chart without authentication.
Hey, Prasad, just quick question. Is there any reason why we're not seeing any MCP servers, but you are seeing them? Like when we say add tool from library, we don't see any MCP servers.
Slowly? Really? Can you see?
I'm able to see.
So
is it on the model?
Add server? Oh no, I went outside of the.
Oh, I see. I have to do the add server before. Got it. Okay, I hadn't done that. Sure.
In the future, we will add a button from there to do the same, but we haven't got around to making it easy from the agent.
Okay. Got it. Sorry, I missed that part of the add server. That's why. Yeah.
So the last topic I really want to cover, probably the most exciting of everything there is, the most transformative. So let's jump into it. It's going to be quick. We call it agent skills, right? So you probably have done this in some format, and I'm going to show you. There's now a standard format around it. So how do you teach your agent your way of doing business, right? You have your procedures, policies, your brand voice, edge cases, exceptions, what is safe, unsafe. These are all the things that are codified so that your business can scale. As your business scales, these become standardized procedures, policies, etc. And you want to uniformly apply it across all your agents. And until now, we would take all this and stuff it in instructions, making it very hard to manage. Or we would store it outside in some kind of a wiki and load it through an MCP server dynamically. And it's very hard to maintain because now somebody has to maintain that outside and so on, right? So you probably experienced this when using ChatGPT and Claude, where every time you want the document to follow a certain style, you upload a previous example and it will follow that style, and then you create it, etc. Right? Or you wanted certain colors to be used, right? You copy paste all the time. So now there's a centralized way to manage all that intelligence. One is the structure, and second is centralized way to it. We call it agent skills, right? So skills are basically step-by-step procedures, decision trees saying if this happens, do this, and so on. You consistent place, you want to be versioned, testable, and you want, more importantly, portable across any AI. That means you use an agent man, you can use it in Cloud, you can use it in ChatGPT, and more importantly, you can use my entire team. That is, you create once and your entire team uses it. If everybody uses Cloud, they all should be using the same set of procedures or style guides or voice guides, etc. Okay, that's what skills are. So
I think no matter how much a machine can try to learn skills, let's say as a manager, I just like a person who walks into the store, and just because he has such a nice smile, I might just give him 10% discount, and that's not going to happen on a server.
Exactly, not going to happen. So but it could happen if you are a frequent user and the skill says, hey, for frequent users, give 10% discount and you get it. So.
But how do a machine can infer that I gave a 10% discount just because I like the smile?
The thing is, in the future, we'll have cameras turned on all the time. So to figure it out. So, walking around with smiles all the time, hoping to get attention.
Good one.
So what we've done is we have created the concept. So Anthropic announced what a skill is and what a structure looks like in October. We brought that into Agent Man now. So what does a skill look like? A skill, if you go into the library, there's something called agent skills. I'm going to show you Agent Man brand voice skill. We use this for 2 years now to write our content, blogs, LinkedIn posts, etc., positioning statements, all of these things. We took all of that and put it into a document, and we would use that over and over. We would attach the document and say, read this, Claude, and then craft my blog post, my LinkedIn post, etc. And it was becoming kind of a nuisance because you're just copying over and over again, right? The same document. Now, skills, what it does is it centralizes it in Agent Man, where we can go and update it anytime and say B2B Tech Challenger and add and so on. And since it is shared, because our tenant space is multi-user, anybody who has access to our tenant can access the same skill. And we have examples such as positioning statements, voice examples, etc. Right? So all this is, think of it as your procedures, your knowledge, your references, and so on. We now can use it across many surfaces. One, I can use it in Claude. I can go to Claude and say, use the Agent Man voice skill to draft an email to be sent as a thank you for attending the workshop, right? So this is it has examples of the way I write things, right? Now it is opening my skill. It's getting the skill from Agent Man, right? And it found the agent brand voice skill. Let me open it to get the full guidelines. I now have the brand voice guidelines. Let me draft thank you letter, right? Thank you for joining Agent First Playbook. It remembers because I created the workshop on Claude, the deck, so it has that knowledge, right? And it's like, try it yourself, your next steps is what I hope you take away. Right? So it's basically did that. And this Pilari signed off based on memory. Now,
So how did it connect to agent voice skill? It is already has the interface or something, isn't it?
Exactly. So now you can go to settings, connectors. That's a very good question. And it's not available as part of Claude's connection. Hopefully they will accept. We just submitted it. Hopefully let me see if it's here. Agent skills. Yeah, we just submitted this week. Hopefully they'll accept and it'll be part of this collection soon. But you can also add custom at the bottom. Add custom. Here, you enter. So these are the instructions. So if you go to myagentskills.ai, that's our standalone product now. You go to connect, you will find instructions to connect to different ChatGPT, Agent Man, Claude Code, APIs. Right? So if you come here, you can copy this URL. This is an MCP server. Come back here, paste it, and I call it Agent Man Skills, and save it. At this point, what it does, and I'll show you what happens, because I'm going to disconnect this one. And when I click connect, it will log into your account. So I have different workspaces. Right. So in fact, the workspace I was showing for demos was the workshop workspace, but all my skills are in here, in the personal workspace. I say allow. Now it's going to pull the skills for me. Okay. So what are the skills available? We have certain system skills that you can use without creating a skill. Right. So we also have user-defined skills. So if you click here, browse, these are all system skills. There are about 61 so far, spanning from healthcare, marketing. If you want to create your own brand voice, we have skill for that. Productivity, right? This one will generate documents, this generate read PDFs, this one generate PowerPoints. These are created by Anthropic, by the way. You can see by Anthropic. We have accounting skills. Yeah, nonprofit skills, right? So, and so on. And I'm going to show you what I did to create presentations with skills, right? So remember the deck I started with, which showed who's attending the class? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me show you how they generated that. I downloaded from Google all the responses, right, in Excel form. I said analyze it. So it analyzed if 3 people registered, gave me the metrics, right, and did the analysis. I said use the Agent Man brand voice and Agent Man style guide skills to create me a presentation that I can share. Okay, it went about creating it, right, did all that work, and it came back and said this is the style guide, says the color palette is this, is charcoal, cream backgrounds, typography, and it created me a longer deck, which I said no, shorten it for me. And it went about creating, and then this is what ended up forming it. And I opened up in. And this is how I built this one. This is how I built the entire workshop PowerPoint deck. Because now we have our own style guide, right? Consistent. You can see it's always consistent, using the right colors in Claude.
It's awesome.
Right. So now we say, how do we connect all the loop, right? So now I'm going to go back and said, Shobhitam. I said, Shobhitam, research Shobhitam. Okay. I said, research Shobhitam. It came back and said, who founded it? Aparna Tyagarajan. Raghu Sethuraman is CEO of it. Is Bits Pilari 92, General Manager Azure. Their business model is this. Their funding is this. Their growth is this. House of Blue. Their brand ambassador is Vidya Balan, right? And their social impact initiatives. And I said, okay, use the brand voice generator. So we have a system skill called brand voice generator, which will generate the entire brand voice for any online brand. Right? So it opened it. It read how it should generate. It said, hey, this brand Shobhitam, archetype is direct to consumer, e-commerce, the analysis framework, founder dimensions, input, I will analyze, all that good stuff. Now I said, go ahead and generate the brand voice. It generated it. Okay, it gave all that. I said, okay, now great. Can you upload it to my account? Okay, you'll see here. Now use the skill creator skill. There's a skill creator skill. Create a Shobhitam voice skill to be used in shopping agents, which it did. And then I said, create a package and upload it to my account. It saved it to my account. Oh, this is how I created a skill. Now you can use this for creating your support procedures, any of the procedures, etc. When I did that, I got, let me go back to where I am, not workshops. I go to personal, because that's where it uploaded, I know for a fact. So where's the person? Here. Then I'm going to search on Shobhitam. Yeah. Okay. That's the skill. It created and gave examples how to respond. So I'm going to skip and go back to my workshop. I actually exported the skill and brought it back into here. And I'll go to my agents, which I created, right? Here, Shop Assistant Pro. Now I have the skill ready. I'm coming here. I'll click Add Skill, add Shobhitam to it. Why am I doing this? Because I want to respond in Shobhitam's voice every time, not in some general voice. Okay. So I'm going to go to Tasks and Customer Engagement and say, provide personalized. So when responding, always use the skill Shobhitam. Let me use that name. Shobhitam brand dash voice, right? Shobhitam brand dash voice. Okay. And save it. Now, if I say hello, what it'll do is it will, looks like it didn't load it. So I'm going to put it into a different place. I'm going to put in the global instructions, right? So because it's such a, like it applies to every response possible. So I'm going to, because of this is a GPT-5 mini, so it may require more forceful instructions. So now it's opening the skill. It got the skill and say, hello, welcome to Shobhitam. I'm an AI shopping assistant here to help you find beautiful hand-blown sarees, manage orders, or sort anything else. How can I help you today? Because the skill had
Could
all
you have
this
done
info.
the actual? Sorry, Prasad, just could you have actually loaded an audio file of yourself and have it do an audio response in your voice for any words that are given?
Sorry, you broke up there. What was that? Could I have uploaded?
Or could you have uploaded an audio file with some test words and have it not just type out things, but if I, like we can do that in Gemini and Copilot, have it do a conversation, but do the conversation in your voice?
Sure.
If you're building voice agents, yeah, at some point. We purposefully at this point chose not to focus on voice agents because voice agents are like the easiest thing to do. All you're doing is putting a translation layer on top of an agent from voice to text, text to voice. We will do that when we build out our healthcare agents. So just so you know, how do we make money, right? We make money by building agents for our customers. Our ICP are healthcare, independent practices. So if you guys know any independent practices that are looking to automate their back office, that's what we're building, right? So
yeah, which I guess it's already happening, right? TNS in from different angles. It's about like a physician kind of reading notes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the physician, the focus on the physician. We don't focus on the physician. We focus on everybody supporting the physician. right? So for small practices, on average, 5 admin staff support 1 MD. Doing paperwork, not doing the clinical work, doing back office, like checking people's eligibility, doing the billing, and so on and so forth, right? So that's up to 5. So that's where we're building out agents. We deployed our first agent at the first clinic, and we are already saving 90 minutes a day for one of the tasks. And we are building out the entire back office layer with agents that work off our platform. They're completely HIPAA compliant, built from bottom up. So that's basically where we are focused on. And I think, Manoj, to your question is, all this agentic technology is great, but it's only as good as the domain expertise, right? The knowledge that you have.
Yeah.
So this is where we have partnered with a clinic in Central Valley. It happens to be the co-founded by one of our classmates, Sachin. And
nice.
So that's whom we are working with to automate the back office. And as now we are reaching that point where we are looking for other practices that want to automate their back office with AI. On average, a clinic spends about $250,000 in back office costs.
Per physician per year, I presume. Is this per year, I assume?
Per year per physician. Now, the bigger facilities like hospitals, they spend less per physician because they have invested a lot. But small clinics don't have the same amount of resources, so they do a lot of stuff manually. Right.
So think of it like this, Prasad, also that.
Prasad, what is our saving?
So from a saving, right? So you can see here. Let me just switch back here. So depending on the agents, right? So for example, here, the first one, we are talking about anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000 in annual savings for just one agent.
And right in the beginning, or it will have a gestation period?
So, I mean, right, we deployed it within a week. They're getting to that savings, right? 90 minutes. It not only in time-based savings, but what it does is unlocks additional revenue. For example, why people do eligibility checks is that we have 2,700 insurance carriers in the country. And if you have a population that comes frequently, they can change your primary care physician every 3 months. So if you, let's say, you booked them, they came, you saw them, and they left, and you went to bill that client, they say, hey, you're not the doctor on record. You're basically stuck with them as a doctor. So what they do is the day before they change, they go check. Right? But let's say the day before when they check, they find the person that you're not the doctor anymore. The slot is already booked. Now the slot is a waste. So because we have not automated it, they're making these checks 3 days or 5 days in advance, giving them enough time to switch the appointment, find somebody else to fill the appointment. So they're not only saving time doing this, but are also able to generate additional revenue because they're able to utilize the slots better. Right? That's just one.
Ines, one question. So obviously all yours is running on the cloud, right? I think your own, yeah. So you have this product has to run on the, who do you have your contract with? I mean, let's say you add a new customer and then you need servers, I mean, power, like resources in the background to run more things, right? So how does that work, the whole thing? Are you running, are you scalable? I mean, do you have contracts with companies where you can scale easily? And also, how does the licensing work with this? Remember, all these Gemini and OpenAI and all the stuff. How does that work?
So we run on Google Cloud, and we architected our entire infrastructure to auto scale up and down. Right, so it scales up and down on demand. So but we built it from the ground up, so we can deploy it on AWS or Azure if need may be. But we don't have that constraints because Google has, especially on the infrastructure side, not the model side. The model side, the problem is we found consistently OpenAI has the highest capacity. So when we deploy our agents for which we can charge, we use OpenAI. For free stuff, we use Google's models because Google models are cheaper and they gave us, $100,000 in credit for the first year. So we used them. That's why the default is Gemini. But as a result, there are capacity issues on Google. So we don't use Google's models for production use cases.
So when somebody signs up with your product, or they're signing up with you, or do they have to have their own negotiation with this?
So the clinic doesn't see any of this. And in fact, they don't see Agent Man at all. We have a separate product called MedMan, which is the control center. It's a desktop application, agentic application that they install, which stores everything in REST, which is all encrypted in REST. Because of privacy reasons, we built an entire desktop application, which they run, which connects to the cloud, stores everything in the cloud, encrypted fashion in REST, as well as when it's communicating, and so on. But it's all powered by our agents. So if, let's say, you want to do eligibility checks, it'll do that to agents, a combination of APIs and agents. For example, we are working on building the billing agent. We call it claims coding agent. It requires a lot of data text analysis. We take the case file, analyze the case, identify what codes that you need to bill under, etc. All that is done through agents, but it is anonymized. The names and everything are taken down, and then but once it's done, it's stored in REST. So all that is a separate product, which you don't see. But your people are paying for that product, not for the agent plan. But that said, you can always use it here. You can come and sign up for the basic Agentic platform. We charge $99 for the first 100,000 credits per month, and for Agent Builder Pro, for currently you have unlimited users, but soon we will lift that too. For a Builder Pro, it's only 1 user. For Builder Teams, it's 5 users. Enterprise, if you want to deploy this on premise, we start at $5,000 a month.
Okay.
So Prasad, if we want to continue using Agent Builder, which tier can we take from here? Is it the second one, $9 a month?
Yeah, so I would say depending on, right. So you can pick this and go with and invite to be. We purposefully lifted all limits for all plans, so that because we see agent building as a team sport, right? What I mean by that is if you come to the platform, you look at settings here, you can invite others to this, and now they are participating in everything that you see here. Right?
Is that what you did? You're the admin and you invited us as a team?
Yeah, so I literally, if you see one of our spaces here,
it's Pilani.
Let's see. Where's my personal space here? Right, so where am I here? Looks like I'm the one here. Maybe nested bean here, you will see.
Maybe it's another one, yeah.
So this is for one of our clients. So we have all the users, including the client here. Right, so they get to see the 2 clients here. There's an e-commerce client called Nested Bean, and they have access to all of this. They also have access to the skills we produce, right? So they have, I believe, Nested Bean support procedures here as well. So not here, but
it's good stuff. It's really good stuff, I tell you. Are you already in Series B funding or Series C funding or something? What stage are you at as a startup?
So we raised an angel round. Sabir Bhatia. He's a big
money in me.
So he put the first $100,000 in the company, and then we do others. We will now go to raise seed or Series A, because we decided not to raise money until we built out the entire platform and found our ICP. And at this stage, so this year is the revenue generating year. We didn't focus on revenue generation the first year. We wanted to make we built out all the capabilities before we. Otherwise, what happens is if you prioritize revenue, so early in the you have done a lot of custom agent development, which you have taken a lot of.
There's a lot of money out there. You'll get it.
Yeah.
So one question. You said something about on-prem, right? But I mean, so custom on-prem. There's no on-prem, right? What do you mean by on-prem? I mean,
So
everything runs on the cloud, right? Everything runs on the cloud. What is on-prem?
So what I mean is that we now starting to see, so any technology goes to different stages of adoption, right? The early adapter phase is your sampling phase. You go sign into somebody's site, you sample it there, right? But once you come to the main stage where adoption within the organization starts to grow beyond the 1 or 2 teams, you want to bring infrastructure in-house. Okay. This year, we are starting to see that more and more companies want to run the Agentic platform on their own servers, whether it is in their private cloud or virtual private cloud, whether their own data center or virtual private cloud. That's what I mean by on-prem.
Okay.
So you see that in finance, you see it in healthcare, you see it in insurance, right? For one or reason or other, they want to keep all the agentic processes, right? The agent OS, the API calling, the data in REST, data in the cloud, all of it within their own servers, just like a relational database, right?
Yeah.
So whether you license, let's say you license MongoDB, right?
So as long as you, let's say, as long as you track every single call, I mean, you traces, right? Traces, so that can prevent, unauthorized runs or access, I would say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, something has to be really monitoring every single trace to make sure even by mistake, you did not grant something, or you as a company who are managing this product is not touching my data, without
Exactly.
my permission.
Yeah, so that's the complication if you run a public cloud, right?
Yeah.
But if you run in a private cloud, you have private cloud will have all the firewalls built in automatically. So if you're running in your own servers, accessing your own data, even if it's, you don't have to check to see which API it's calling. It's your own data at the end of the day. So that's where we believe this year is where we'll start to see people. So we always kept that as our option 2, plan B. Plan A is healthcare, plan B is our agentic platform.
So you have 17 people left. Hey guys, why don't we all give some money and beat our guy Sabir Bhatia and see if he can match him.
I like that, Sridhar. So had fun. Send out our fundraising deck to all of you. So please, you could make us the next Hotmail.
I like the product. It's cool.
Yeah. So would love to get your feedback on agent skills. As you can see, it's magical. And I believe it's the most transformative product of all the things you have done. There's nothing like it. You probably heard that phrase before, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like it yet. And it's going to be huge. And it's the reason why we made it a separate product and not it's available within Agent Man, but as a separate standalone product, because we felt that we use it in cloud so much. Why can't other people use it? So we separated out as separate products. It's still you maintain your skills in Agent Man, but it's a separate brand by itself. So use it and share it with widely, and we would love to get more feedback. As you found bugs, etc., we would love to hear that as well.
Yeah, Prasad, I got to drop, but really appreciate what you shared, and happy to have any help. If you want, we'll connect. I've connected on LinkedIn with you, so let me know if I can help.
Okay. Awesome, guys. You will get.
Thank you. Actually, can you also
Thank
send?
you.
You said the other product. Can you send links about the other product that you
Yeah,
said,
so
which is?
you will see that. Let me close out the deck, right? So you will see in the last slide of the deck, you have links to all the products. Okay, so the skill set, you have my contact info. I'll send the deck. The deck you don't have, you'll get the recording, and then you can print it out. If you run into any issues, just let me know. We'll fix them. And if you want to use it for your business, we'll help you build your first agent.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, TNS. Appreciate it.
Awesome, TNS. Thank you so much.
Thanks, TNS.
Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Good night.